Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Now, how are we all? Hashtag fuck off fun Friday. Now, I am on the laptop today, and I have to keep reminding myself to look over there because what I look at is all the comments. Look at all the comments. I look at all that kind of stuff. So I mustn't be looking in the wrong direction. How are we all? Gabrielle, I have got my coffee. Absolutely right. Gabrielle, you've been watching 2020 Vlogmas. Wow, it's so good. Thank you so much. Welcome, April Hill, Andrea Jenner, Julie Hilton, Shara Lou, the Kreber family. Oh, you enjoyed home time last night. I'm pleased. I'm pleased. Ashley, sending big hugs. Sally O'Sullivan, Julie Hilton. I'm looking at you. You may notice that we are on a slightly different camera. Well, we're not on a slightly different camera, we're on a very different camera today. And that's because we're going to be able to do a little bit of what we do on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard lives, which is potentially, if it all goes well, pop up an image or two. So obviously stay to the end. We've had a few problems with the quiz this week. It's going to be a different quiz, but there is a quiz. It's going to be a quiz at the end. Christos, good morning. Susan Wilson, good morning. Jordan Stevenson, Jill Broad. Hello, hello. Anyone got hay fever? Anyone here got hay fever? Anyone struggle with hay fever? Oh, I struggle with hay fever. It gets me, hay fever hits me with asthma. It hits me with asthma. Does it hit anyone else with asthma? Oh, look, as if by magic, there's a bumblebee and there's a blossom, bumblebee blossom. Is anyone else? Yes, Andy Kirkham. Used to. Yeah, well, they are warning today. Well, apparently there's a shortage, in case you're worried. There's stock up on your Piriton, if you use Piriton. I think there's a shortage of Piriton. Yeah, eczema is a form of hay fever, isn't it? It's a very allergic kind of thing. But they're saying that the pollen count this spike this weekend could cause, I don't want to panic anyone, I struggle with asthma, life-threatening asthma attacks. The Asthma and Lung UK charity is urging people with lung conditions to take precautions this weekend as the Met Office predicts high pollen levels across most of England and Wales, with medium levels in other parts of the UK. So I'm sure they mean if you've got extremely, bad or chronic asthma, then be mindful, have your inhalers with you. I have to confess, I keep my inhaler with me all the time. Does anyone else? Sally O'Sullivan, no cricket questions later. Let's hope not, hey. Christos, you found that Pyrenees helps. Yeah, Maddie's boyfriend gets really bad hay fever. I feel so, I've never been one of those people whose eyes pour and pour and pour, but I can feel, I have to keep my inhaler with me. I do think asthma is massively aggravated. Does anyone else have asthma, but only it goes away as long as you've got your asthma pump with you? So it's totally psychosomatic. Ellen, get yourself to the seaside, Mark. Matthew Ward, thank you for the postcard. I will try. Oh, bless you, Matt. Hope you don't mind me calling you Matthew. Heather Cromack, I love cricket. I like cricket. How's your ear, Mark? Pardon? Gloria Chesham, my cat gets it. Yeah, can't breathe without my inhaler, Andrea Jenner. Anyway, well, there you go. It's always nice to start a coffee moaning on a Friday with a bit of a health warning, eh? So be careful out there. Do you get it? Be careful out there. Do you get it? Okay, yeah, no, it's a bit of a creaky one. The big news today is that Deborah James, have you seen the dear lady who's now receiving end-of-life care, podcast presenter, former radio presenter, tried to battle against bowel cancer, set up a fund to raise money. It's now hit 4 million, and she is, you know, how amazing is this? She is being sort of honoured as Dame Deborah James. She's been awarded a damehood for her cancer campaigning as her fundraising hits £4 million. She originally set out to raise just $250,000. She's hit 16 times her goal, guys. Isn't that remarkable? So number 10 announced that she's going to be made a dame. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said, if ever an honour was richly deserved, this is it. Deborah has been an inspiration, and her honesty, warmth, and courage has been a source of strength to so many people. And I have to say, who could disagree with that? There's that terrible Izzy. Did I see Izzy? Izzy, it's your birthday. Where have you gone? Izzy, happy birthday, Izzy. I'll make a note and we'll sing it at the end. Izzy, birthday. Oh, Izzy. That's the name of my eldest daughter, Izzy. Tragically, this is just tragically sad story. The human spirit, I can't even begin to encapsulate. You can't encapsulate what this woman manifests. She said of the award, "I don't know what to say. I'm blown away and feel incredibly honored. I don't feel like I deserve this. I can't tell you what this means to my family. It's so much to take in." And I think, you know, it's just a reminder of us all sort of, you know, just taking stock and being grateful and recognizing the simple things in life. I mean, me and Nadia said it, even in our review of Worst Person in the World, there's just a very simple statement when asked, you know, what legacy do you want to leave behind? And Deborah's going to leave the most remarkable legacy with her fundraising and also her stoicism and strength and her memory for her family and countless people. But it's just a reminder that sometimes it's not even about legacy. When you're in such a sort of terminal place, the podcast has been incredibly helpful. You're right, Anne Collard. When you're in such a terrible place, sometimes the simplest things you want, and as she said it, she just wants to hear the sounds of her family around her, which, oh God, I just find it absolutely heartbreaking. So yeah, true angel, Dame Deborah, an absolute force of nature, says Sarah Fox. Totally agree, totally agree. Elaine Upright, my dad died this year, 14th of February, from bowel cancer. Such a horrid, horrid and sad thing. And it's like so many cancers, one of those that if you can catch it early, it's eminently, you know, infinitely more treatable. I think the percentage of survival is so much higher at stage 2, if you can catch it at stage 1 or stage 2. So that's Deborah James, and her fundraising, I'm sure, will just keep going north. And we're all just, you know, I think the nation and beyond the nation are sending their love and regards for what must be a really, really, really tricky time at the moment. So yeah, Deborah James there made a dame. Beautiful lady, says Julie Hilton. Absolutely heartbreaking. Sending prayers and love. Absolutely. I just wanted to pull up, there's another story here which is being talked about on the radio, and this is something called, I don't know what, I've popped it in the title. Let me have a look. I'm on so many screens here, guys, and I'm trying to stay with you. This is about Spain introducing a bill, a law, an employment law, where women can have menstrual leave or period leave, I think I've put in the title, for anyone struggling with severe period pain. Now, I have to come off the screen to do a poll, but I want to do a poll. So let me just get over here and do it. What do you think of that, guys? Period leave. What do you think of period leave? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? I'm just going to pop it on here. Period leave. Period leave. Good. And now period leave is up to 5 days, 3 to 5 days off if you've got severe period leave. So there you go. I've asked on that screen. I'm just going to drop that down there. Come back here. What do you think, guys? So yeah, so the story is Spain is planning a draft bill says women could have 3 days of leave a month, extended to 5 in some instances. And I think the question mark around this is, on the one hand, it seems really progressive. Does it not? On the one hand, Sharon Jail, good for people with conditions such as endometriosis. Absolutely. Gabrielle, I used to have chronic, I'll talk about what I think of it in a minute. I used to have chronic period pain when I was younger. Luckily, my GP found a drug which really helped. Often it helps to speak to a gynecologist to get diagnosed properly. I have just been diagnosed with fibroids, which make that part of my life even worse. Shara Lou. You would have to have gynecological problems, I think, to have period leave, I think. Heather Cromack, there will be loads saying their periods are bad to get a few days off. Well, I suppose this is one of the questions, isn't it? On the one hand, I think it's incredibly progressive, me too. I think it recognises, I'm sure that if men went through this, there would be allowances made. I'm sure if men went through menstrual pain, there would be no such thing as menstrual pain, to be honest. But I think it is progressive. But another aspect, which I think is important, is, will it make employers disinclined to employ women? Could it end up being sort of a way of kind of setting, gender equality in the workplace back? I'm just going to pop over and see what you're saying on this poll. Let's have a look. Oh, look, no, 71% of you are saying good. To what extent could this be up for? I mean, I think, this isn't going to be a case of you knock on your line manager's door and you go in and say, oh, shit, now I've got a bit of a bad tummy and I'm feeling a bit, I need a bar of chocolate. Do you mind if I take the day off? I think this is going to be, accompanied with medical records or notes and a recognition that perhaps you struggle on a regular basis. Good Chip Lollipop, 99% of us just crack on with it. There you go. Yep. If Caramore, if you're really heavy and leaking and crippling pain, it will be so much better, but could put employers off. I think that is my concern. I suppose what they would have to do is have this law and then enshrine within it that, well, how do you enshrine within it? If you just, I suppose you just have to have a fixed quota of women that you employ and then recognize this as part of it. I think the potential, Mark, the poll says it's 101 say yes. 101 say yes. How do they? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the poll. The poll says 72% think it's a good idea. 28% think it's a bad idea. Just 1 second, guys. I think that's the postman. Let me just pull you down. You can tell if period pain is debilitating. Izzy Dorbarn. Sarah Fox, exactly what I thought, Mark. Young women might have children, but will definitely have periods. Ashley Gardner, should be unpaid leave if they do the law. If they change the law, yeah. Pixie Petal, as a teen, I used to have a morning off throwing up, then had lunch and back to school and I felt okay. Wouldn't have made it in earlier. Okay. Melanie Williams, why don't they actually fund real research into developing medication and better birth control for these conditions? Yeah, I forgot to pop up my image for this story. And the only image I could find for this story is whenever you sort of look up sort of for periods and stuff like that, it's always this, a sort of meaningful cuddle of the knees in front of a cup of tea or coffee. What do you make of that? Does that sort of symbolize menstrual pain and agony? I don't know. Kirsty, all women going to have time off just because they're on their period? It's ridiculous. What are they going to do for men when they're going through pain at time off? I suppose you could argue, what pain are men going through? I don't know. Raspberry Mojito Girl, never get period pain badly, thankfully, but feel for women that get it bad. So yeah, I'm a lesbian, but have to take birth control to help me, says the Gems 19. Foodie Force, if diagnosed, then absolutely. Is it more to do that support and care for the problem is rather trivialized and dismissed? I know what you mean. Maybe it doesn't even need to be a day off. Maybe it needs to just be no sort of stigma around it potentially causing a problem in a working day or something like that. So you have a sort of like a nurse's room like you used to have at school. Do you know what I mean? Where you'd go off and you'd lie on the bed and you'd kind of, I remember who remembers going to the nurse's room? I just wanted to lie in there and pretend I had asthma. So I just didn't have to play in goal and stuff like that. So menstrual leave is up for debate. Another story that came up today is this, which is well. Let me just do a final summary on there. Let me end that. Clearly, the majority of you think it's good to have period leave or menstrual leave. The next question I'm going to ask you, I'm going to lead with the question. Okay. Hang on a minute. Let me just think what the question would be. The story. Oh, right. Okay. Here we go. Wait for the question. Here's the question. And whilst you get to grips with the question, Is calling a man bald considered sexual harassment? Toss. Well, what say you? What say you guys? Is it? I'm just going to find my image for this. You can well imagine what my image is to sit alongside a story on baldness. Yeah, boom. What is sexual about it? Okay, well, what's the story here? The story here is a man, Tony Finn, 64, claimed he'd been a victim of sexual harassment when his colleague said he was a bald C-U-N-T. An employment tribunal, a tribunal that consisted of 3 men with no hair who were also bald, agreed that he was the victim of sexual harassment when his manufacturing firm colleague said he was a bald C-U-N-T. They compared it in the tribunal that sat in Sheffield. They compared it to someone or a woman being having their breasts mentioned in a conversation. The ruling made by a panel of 3 men who also themselves had no hair comes as in a case between a veteran electrician and his employers. In a statement, Mr. Finn told the tribunal about several incidents in which the term was used and he was fearful of violence. I don't know. Do you think there's a bit of a, it was a violation, the tribunal decided it was a violation of the claimant's dignity. It created an intimidating environment for him and it related to the claimant's sex. Catherine Hamilton, it's an insult. It's not sexual. Sonia Donovan, I don't mind a man looking bald, can look sexy. But is it baldness? What are your feet? Maybe he had been bullying the colleague and they bit back. Sounds like a story behind it. I hate the C word. That would upset me more. I have to confess, I think the sort of sexual harassment aspect of it is taking an element of the woman's body and using it as an insult. To call someone bald, is that an insult or is it just a description? Is it sexual harassment in any way to describe someone as bald, or is it not just a description? Do you worry about? I think all men worry about going bald. I mean, my grandfather always had very high widow peaks, so I've always. It's weird. I look at old photos of me, and I've always had the same hairline. And yeah, no, it's kind of all right there. I think men worry about it. I think men think about it, and I think part of me wonders whether over a certain age, maybe 55, whatever happens, if you've had your hair until then brilliant, bully for you. But I think amongst men, I mean, I used to shave my head a lot when I was younger in my raving days. I don't think anything of it when I see a man with a bald head at all. Do you? Why would you call anyone bald, Rachel Dodge? What's the situation? Just walking down the street, giving a description to the police? Exactly. Yeah. If you're simply describing someone. Ellen, it's a description. It's not sexual harassment. Good point. Gloria Chesham, better than a comb over. Do you remember comb overs? There's such a thing. I mean, Donald Trump. Flap it back down. Chelsea girl, as a woman can be bald, I don't think it can be sexual harassment, just harassment. That's a really good point, Chelsea girl. Jill Broad, some men are embarrassed, so you shouldn't comment about it. My son is really upset about losing his hair. Yeah, I mean, you know, all men's hair recedes. All men's hair gets thinner to some extent. I mean, you know, and is it true? I mean, maybe you guys know this. Do you follow? Are you supposed to follow in your father's lineage, the men in your father's lineage, or is it men in your mother's lineage? Because I've got hair much more like my grandfather's. Anne Murray, C word worse than bald. Yeah. Melanie Williams, good point. Was he more embarrassed to admit he's being bullied than sexually harassed? Should we go over and have a look at your list? Let's head over to the poll. Oh yeah, look. So is calling a man bald sexual harassment? Yes, 7%. No, a massive 93%. So it's quite clear what you think about that, guys. Yeah, it's a curious one. Ashley, I started losing my hair when I was 17. It's one of many things I hate about myself. Don't hate it. You wear it with style, dude. It's I don't think about it at all. It's like you meet the personality, you meet the person. There's no, I just think, I mean, for example, actors like Mark Strong, they're brilliant, strong heads. Pink Lady, my dad is bald, laughs it off. So Ashley, embrace your joyous head. Follows the male line usually, but usually skips a generation. Oh, okay. Christoph, sometimes there's a personal choice to shave one's head, but the C word shouldn't be part of it at all. I entirely agree. Entirely agree. So that's calling a man bald sexual harassment. Who here has either got a first-class degree or knows someone who's got a first-class degree? Because I don't want to cause any offense. Oh yeah, have I finished that? Yeah, I have finished that. I'm going to lead with the next question. Leading with the question, there you go, and you'll get a sense of what the topic is. I have a degree, but not first class, Pink Lady. I have a PhD, Marie Swift. Both my hubby and his dad are bald. Oh, sorry, still on the bald story. Yeah, I know someone. You have to be careful. They may be bald through cancer treatment. Absolutely right, Dawn Claricoats. My cousin does, Chelsea Girl. Okay, so this is the question about degrees. Huge numbers of people get degrees, but first class, like a first. Have you got a first? Do you know someone who's got a first? Because apparently we are getting more first-class degrees are being awarded than ever. Now, this might seem inappropriate to anyone who isn't in higher education, all that kind of stuff, but almost 4 in 10 students got top honours last summer. And this led me to a bigger, broader question. Who thinks, and I don't want to get conspiracy theory on this, but I do, who possibly thinks that it's in the system's interest, and that by the system, I mean the chattering classes from Eton and all those kind of schools. It's in the system's interest to keep bringing the threshold for achievement lower and lower so that everyone goes, oh, I've got this, whilst actually knowledge and education slips down ever so slightly so that there's less and less questioning of authority. Is that a bit too conspiracy theory? Kirsty Wade, interesting question on the poll, Mark. Not sure I can vote on this one as it's 20 years since I did mine and don't know anyone doing one now. So, no, yeah, I mean, how long ago was it that I did mine? Well, it's 30 years ago, bloody hell, 30 years ago. And back then there was a push for everyone to get its economic interest, Michu. Ellie Denning, first degree in life. Yeah, absolutely. I'm studying medicine 3 weeks away from graduate and it's so bloody difficult. Luckily. Yeah. Now, that's not to say, in saying this, that is not to undermine, challenge or query the, what youngsters and students and undergraduates are doing at all. No, not at all. It's challenging, of course. But you do wonder, either there's a fixed, rigid form of marking and grading, or everyone's getting more intelligent, or they're bringing the threshold lower. And when you hear more and more universities talking about the fact that they're having to get people, sort of certainly on maths degrees, they're having to get people have to do primer years to get up to speed to hit the maths A level. You see, there's always a worry. There's always a worry that they could be dropping the standards. Top degrees were given to 80% of graduates at one university. And on a national level, the rate of students getting firsts has increased significantly in recent years. And this is despite them getting Ds in their A-levels. Universities needed to follow school exams and reverse the far higher grades awarded during the pandemic. I mean, does having sort of this kind of arbitrary sense of grades, isn't this where I mean, in a weird way, my question is grading a reliable system? I don't think it is. Is it? I'm at university and our exams require 70% to get a first, 40% to pass. I think it's the same. It's been the same percent. It was the same percentage in my years. But as more and more, it's like every year you hear them saying, yeah, more people have got grade A levels. And I don't know whether over time something is diminishing. I just don't know. And that is not, Faith Goodman, hope you're well. I think universities should not charge full fees if there's still online teaching. I agree. Try doing a degree at Oxford. Oh, where have you gone? says Sarah Fox, when you went to bog standard state schools. My son got a second-class degree, but he hadn't been hothoused like many others. Very good point, Sarah. A second-class degree from Oxford is sensational, especially if he hasn't been sort of, hothoused and, as I call it, microwave educated in the Eton system. So yeah, just a thought. Are we all being gaslit into thinking we're more intelligent than any other generation, but actually we're being taught less and just given high grades? I don't know. Sometimes I worry about these things. Oh, I forgot to add my image to the stream. You see, it's so complicated doing all these things at the same time. Oh, I'll tell you who we are going to talk about, though. We're going to talk about Madonna in a minute because she's gone funny. Anyway, let's just show you the back of some, there you go, the back of some heads. Back of some mortarboard heads. I remember when I had my mortarboard, what an absolute twat I felt. I remember being so thrilled. I walked over, had my hat on, and I thought, I'm going to get a scroll. I'm going to get a scroll. It wasn't a scroll. It was literally, do you remember the old large packets of Smarties that you get, the tubes of Smarties? They'd taken one of those, they'd taken the cover and the paint off it, and it was white, and they put a yellow ribbon around it. They thrust it in my hand, took the photograph, took it off, and I went on. No scroll. Never got a scroll. Anyone else? Did any of your relatives, anyone you know, got a degree? Keep the scroll. We did hurl the hats in the air, the mortarboards, the twat hats, as we used to call them. Sarah Fox, mind you, once you've got your degree, it's like any other exam. People are generally only interested in the fact that you have a degree, and no one ever asks to see the certificate or the scroll, thankfully, because I never got a scroll. Just quickly, let me just see if I've got this. Oh, look, there's a winner of the Platinum Jubilee dessert. Does anyone know what it is? Does anyone know what the winner of the Platinum Jubilee dessert is? So our degree is getting easier. No, 52%. Yes. Oh, you split down the middle, 48%, ending that poll. It is this lady here. It's a lemon. Is it lemon curd? A lemon trifle. Oh, who likes a trifle? I like a trifle. Platinum Jubilee lemon trifle beats 5,000 other desserts to be named Platinum Pudding. The pudding incorporates a lemon curd Swiss roll, St. Clement's jelly, lemon custard, amaretti biscuits, mandarin coulis, fresh whipped cream, candied peel, and chocolate shards. Sorry. That's not my kind of trifle, and I don't think it's going to be the Queen's kind of trifle either. In my trifle, I need a shitload of brandy at the bottom. I swear my nan, I've said it before, I swear my nan's trifle caused me to become an alcoholic. I used to go in and just suck those sponge fingers. Who loves sucking alcohol out of sponge fingers? It sounds wrong in every conceivable way. Nadia doesn't like a trifle. I love the wibbly wobbliness of a trifle. I'm not a fan of the jelly bit. But I love the cream. I love the alcohol. I love the sort of custardy thing. I like the sprinkles. Nads should make it. That's a good idea. She should have a go at it. That's such a good idea. I love mandarin, orange, and lemon. Is mandarin... I used to have tins of mandarins. I think, Mum, if you're here, we used to have all our fruit, didn't it, Mum? Came in tins. Was it mandarin? I always remember thinking mandarin. Wow, that's really exotic. Is that a normal kind of vegetable fruit? And this lady here, what's her name? This lovely lady who's won it. Trifle, Gemma Melvin created the lemon Swiss roll and amaretti trifle. She said that winning was surreal. Yeah, must be quite surreal. Almost as surreal as looking at Mary Berry close up. I think, God, this is Mary Berry. This is quite something. Platinum Jubilee, that's the lemon trifle. Lemon was, here we go. Lemon was Queen's wedding cake flavor, Ellie Denning. Context. It's all about context. I love trifle, but only ever have it at Christmas for some reason. Katie Travers. So did we only ever had it at Christmas. I'd just go into the kitchen and I'd just suck the sponge fingers. We're going to talk about her. Come on, guys. Madonna. Fruit should not be in a trifle, Sharon J.L. Madonna, you've got to love her. She just doesn't mind putting stuff out there, does she? Now, this story, I have to give you a pre-warning. It's not an explicit image, but it's a digital image, and it's a very odd image, but it's been featured in the Daily Mail. NFTs, which are these non-fungible tokens. They're a sort of, think of them as a kind of cryptocurrency type thing. You can sort of trade in them, sell them, whatever, all this kind of weird stuff. But lots of artists, lots of creatives have found ways of making NFTs, non-fungible tokens, sort of fun and interesting to own and have. But they're often digital, so you don't actually, I literally can't get my head around it, can't comprehend the importance of it, and think it's all batshit crazy. But Madonna, who's, let's face it, aging really gracefully in her own way, has released graphic images of the NFTs, the non-fungible tokens that she wants to sell or release or make collectible. And I'm now going to show you, there you go. That's one of her non-fungible tokens. It's curious, isn't it? Essentially, her videos, or the things that you can own, feature digital depictions of her, you know what, showing her giving birth to trees and bugs. What do you think, guys? I mean, she's clearly drawing the analogy that she's somehow Mother Earth. It's bizarre, isn't it? I told you you'd like having these images up today. I saw this, I thought, we've got to try this. We've got to be able to plop up the images. I've been thinking the same. It's also very quiet about her too. Sorry, I don't understand that. I've been thinking, sorry, Nanny Bluebell. She's just wrong, says Susan Wilson. There's also, should we, yeah, no, I mean, it's strange. Faith Goodman, Madonna was okay in the 1980s, but now slightly bonkers. There are a few others that are a little bit more explicit. But things like seaweed and, I mean, fungible tokens, non-fungal tokens, I think more like it. What have I just logged on to see, says Claire Hemming. Absolutely. It's a huge purple leaf broccoli emerging from Mother Earth Madonna. Yeah, quite something, isn't it? Quite something. Of course, the internet's gone mad. Couple of funny picture stories before we then go on to the quiz. So I want to show you this. Well, first of all, who likes feeding ducks? Who likes feeding ducks? Duck feeding for me was a massive part of my childhood. It was the most exciting thing. It was like flirting with death. Well, I mean, certainly when you're nigh high and someone tells you that swans can break your arm. I love feeding them. You know, Nan would say, let's feed the ducks. And I'd be like, and we'd always feed them the crusts that my granddad would cut off the sandwiches. Oh, God, the good old days. But were we doing something wrong? That's the big question. Ducks must not be fed white loaves. They should be fed wholemeal. Yes, this is it. Ducks must be fed wholemeal or granary bread and not white bread. Quackers Council insists. The council is insisting that park ducks are fed wholemeal or granary bread as they turn their beaks up at white. They should be ideally fed seed or maize. If you must use bread, please make sure it's the healthier varieties, it says. So these ducks are like us. They ask for sourdough with seeds. Ducks are asking for smashed avo on sourdough with seeds, quack, quack. They compare loaves to junk food that tastes good but have no nutritional value. Okay, you may say that, but what is there not to like about that image? If I was a duck, I know that I'd want that rather than that, because my beak can deal with that better than that. That, if it landed in the pond, would probably knock me out. Whereas that will make me go and have a really nice siesta in the afternoon. Artisan Aquatics. There we go. I'm sure there were 8 cygnets in the local lake, but all have died. Oh no, rats and mink that come and feed off the seed bread that get... interesting point. Someone somewhere. So the rats and the vermin come to feed off this stuff so that poor ducks like this chap here. I always thought my granddad looked like is that what's it called? A mallard. Whenever I looked at my dad, he almost had the collar. He had a green head. It was very strange and a very yellow nose. I always think they look like they're wearing collars, don't you? So yeah, so don't feed them that. Feed them that. Bloody hell. But if they're ducks that live in Hampstead or Islington, it's sourdough all the way. Okay? So, yeah, watch what you're feeding your ducks. It's not just an innocent thing these days. Now, this story made me roar with laughter. This made me roar with laughter, and then we'll get on with the quiz. Dozy workmen trying to cover up a path's wonky white line try to repair the damage. So do you want to see the white line? Should we show you the white line that so these are the guys in the park were doing, obviously they're marking out a cycle lane or the two routes of a path. And so there's a white line that needs to go down the middle. Do you want to see their first attempt? Do you want to see their attempt at drawing a white line down the path? Let me know. Wonky lines. Well, there you go. That's the kind of line I'd have done after 86 Diet Cokes and vodka Diet Cokes even, or JD and Coke. Oh, don't get me going. It's Friday, fuck off, hashtag fuck off, hashtag Friday. There you go. So that's what they did. It's funny. I always thought, I really like to do that. You know, when you see them putting the yellow lines out, you're like, oh, I really want to do that. They've obviously either got, oh, yeah, that's right, John. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I did see the Tottenham 3-0, Arsenal. Absolutely. And that was the point at which he hit that little boom. Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, shit. So do you want to see what they did to try and repair it? And let's be a judge of this. Let's see whether they've made it better or they've made it worse. Okay, so this is their attempt to patch things over. Which I would have just stuck with the white myself. Now it looks like a sort of, looks like someone with a giant magic marker has just gone wandering around. It's worse, isn't it? That's how I walk after a gin, Sally O'Sullivan. It's crazy, isn't it? See, pictures. Do you like this? Do you like who likes the new picture aspect? It's kind of fun, isn't it? Yeah, crazy shit. Dozy workmen trying to cover up. So clearly that doesn't work either. So just before we get to the quiz, I just wanted to show you. I'm going to see if this works. They think they've discovered, or they released footage which looks like there's a door on Mars. I don't know if the audio on this is just going to kick in, but let's try it.
I look at Mars photos on a regular basis every day, every few days.
Footage.
And I noticed that in this one, there is a doorway over here. Let me zoom out so you can see the full scope of this picture. There's two pictures with this doorway in it. This is one of them. It's kind of extraordinary. It looks very similar to entrances to Ramses' tomb in Valley of the Kings in Egypt.
I'll walk after a Mars body.
Look at this sloping effect coming from the walls. See these carved walls inside in this hallway down here. The stairway area looks like it's been buried. But let's look at.
So there's one shot, and then there's another shot there.
This is another photo. The second photo has the doorway over here. And I'm zooming into it right here. Look at
you hear his voice?
Look at that, guys. It's just extraordinary.
Looks like it had a patio too at one time. It does, doesn't it? It just needs it's like a lean-to. So yeah, so doors on Mars. Could it be photoshopped, Nanny Bluebell? We can hear him, Creto. Look, that's good. Gloria Chesham, fake. It's interesting, isn't it? It probably is fake. I just don't want it to be fake. Okay, let's get to the quiz, guys. And we've had some issues with the quiz, so I'm going to have to do a slightly different one today. But there's going to be 10 questions today. Melody Bell, we can certainly do that. I'll try and pop some underneath in the contents underneath. So who's ready for the quiz of the day? Quiz of the day, news quiz of the week. It's going to be 10 questions today, so best out of 10. We're going to trot through them quite quickly. Answer only A, B, or C. And let's start, shall we? Coconut Island, so impressive. Coffee moanings are so immersive now. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? So the US Supreme Court set to overturn appears set to overturn nearly 50 years of legal precedent on abortion by striking down the Roe versus Wade ruling. But in what year did the Roe versus Wade ruling come in? Was it 1978, A, 1983, B, or 1973? A, B, or C? A, B, or C? Who would like an image of Madonna's non-fungible token whilst we're doing this? Would anyone like that up whilst we're trotting through this? Lots of you saying C. Zilvi Sikta saying A, 1978. Jenny Marshall, Happy Bernie saying B, 1983. The answer is no. Nanny Bluebell, no, I don't think we don't want Madonna's non-fungible token, do we? We should call her, rather than her Mary, we should call it her NFT. Show us your NFT. No, thank you, Dawny Harvey. C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Question 2. Boris Johnson made an appearance on which TV programme for the first time in nearly 5 years Tuesday week ago? Was it A, Good Morning Britain, B, BBC Breakfast, or C, Lorraine? Don't mention the war, Lorraine. Good Morning Britain, A, BBC Breakfast, B, or Lorraine? C. Which show did, after so much time, did Boris Johnson finally pluck up the courage and the bumbling nonsense to go, let's get on the message of what we really want to say is totally something totally unrelated to anything that you're asking me about. Don't ask me a bloody thing. I'm just going to tell you exactly what I'm talking about, which is toilet roll, toilet roll, toilet roll. We are the biggest manufacturers of toilet roll, even though we don't have enough toilet roll in the shops. Yeah, the answer is A. Who's Lorraine Orla? Question 3. I'll check in on who's got 5 at 5. London's delayed Elizabeth line railway will finally open on what date? A, May 31st, B, May 17th, or C, May 24th. And I think that when we do this, we should go on the line on its first day and vlog it, because it's a big deal, a new tube line in London. So A, May 31st, B, May 17th, or C, May 24th. Jesus, that really makes my head go a bit funny, that does. Zivil Sikta says May 31st. Betty Jones says A. Jackie Roswell says May 24th. I mean, oh, excuse me. It could be, well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's that one. Oh, I was wrong. God forbid I was wrong. Oh my God, I just have to have some water. The answer, my friends, was C. The answer was C. Oh, where have I gone? Where's the quiz? It's very hard. I'm controlling about 16 different feeds here, guys. Question 4. What measure did Environment Secretary George Eustice suggest shoppers should take to help manage their household finances? Which measure? A, support local food and drink producers. B, grow their own fruit and vegetables. Or C, choose value brands in supermarkets. What action did Secretary George Eustice suggest? A, support local food and drink producers. B, grow their own fruit and veg. C, choose value brands in supermarkets. Sally O'Sullivan says C, choose value brands. Katie Travers says the same. Angela Thompson, April Hill, Karen Taylor, it's only me, all the same. Julie Hilton says support local food and drink producers. Helen Flynn says support local food and drink producers. Most of you are saying C, and C is correct. Go to Harrods, that's just him, says Dawny Harvey. C is the correct answer there. Question 5 of 10. Fingers on the buzzers, guys, fingers on the buzzers. I was going to try and get all of these questions up on the screen so you could see them too. Wouldn't that be something? And then what we should move to is interactivity. That would be really sensational. This is going to be so much easier when me and Nadia do them together, because then I can do all of that. She can do all the chat. I think. Question 5. Which band is re-releasing one of its most famous hits from 1977 to mark the Queen's upcoming Platinum Jubilee? A, Fleetwood Mac. B, the Sex Pistols, or C, Pink Floyd? This is interesting. What's a cahoot? I ask Izzy Dorburn. Is it your birthday, Izzy, today? I think it is. Oh, what did I just say? The last one, what was correct? Oh, it was by Value Brands. C, Value Brands, the last one. Me Tube's on 4 out of 4. Question 5. Which band is re-releasing one of its most famous hits from 1977 to mark the Queen's upcoming Platinum Jubilee? A, Fleetwood Mac, B, the Sex Pistols, or C, Pink Floyd? Oh, lots of you saying Sex Pistols, B. Linda says Fleetwood Mac. Julie Hilton says A. Most of you saying B. It is indeed the Sex Pistols. Who has 5 out of 5? Was that question 5? I can't remember. Which one's that? Yeah, who's got 5 out of 5? Tell us what you've got out of 5. Just tell us what you've got out of 5. Come on, hang around. Come on, hurry up. 4 out of 5, Louise N. 5 out of 5. I just saw 5 out of 5. Shara Lou, 5 out of 5. Louise N. Creatorholic, 5 out of 5. Sally O'Sullivan, 4. Jill Broad, 5. Wow, this is going well for somebody. Christos, 5. Well done, Christos. Caroline Turlington, 4. It's Miracle, Creatorholic, 5. Elaine Flew, 4. Okay, question 6. Which comedian was attacked while performing a comedy show in Los Angeles? Was it A, Dave Chappelle, B, Chris Rock, or C, Bill Burr? Which was it? Which was it, guys? A, Dave Chappelle, B, Chris Rock, or C, Bill Burr? Question 6. Question 6. Most of you saying Dave Chappelle. Nick Walewski, you're saying Chris Rock. That was the Will Smith kick, slap. Most of you got that right. Yeah, A, Dave Chappelle it is. Oh, no. Who said they didn't want a cricket? Who has been appointed president of the illustrious Marylebone Cricket Club, the MCC, of which I was supposed to go and I was booked in for trials, don't you know, when I was younger. Who is appointed president of the illustrious Marylebone Cricket Club? A, Stephen Fry, B, Lord Botham, or C, Sir Geoffrey Boycott? Oh, which of those 3 is president of the MCC? Faith Goodman's coming straight out of the traps there saying Stephen Fry, A. Anyone want to push Faith on that? Faith is often quite reliable on these things. If you all want a sneaky answer, right answer to the cricket question, you may want to queue up behind Faith Goodman. That's all I'm saying. The answer, you're all saying A. You're all saying that because you looked at Faith's notes, didn't you? Apart from Sheila Patterson-Art, who's saying Sir Geoffrey Boycott. Cheeky. Jill Broad, you're saying Lord Botham. I thought Lord Botham is Stephen Fry. Question 8 out of 10. This is, if the cricket one didn't get you, this is going to get you. You ready? Which player scored the winning penalty as Real Madrid completed the most stunning of late comebacks against Man City to reach the Champions League final? So who scored the winning penalty? Danny Carvajal, A, Danny Carvajal, B, Karim Benzema, or C, Rodrigo? A, Danny Carvajal, B, Karim Benzema, or C, Rodrigo? Nanny Bluebell, oh God. Someone's asking, Faith, what's the answer? Faith, can you rescue everyone here? Don't be Googling it now. That's not fair play. That's not the way to do it. Linda, we've done period leave. We did it right at the beginning. Well, near the beginning. Check it out. Love to know your thoughts. Pop them underneath. Lots of you saying Rodrigo. What Faith said. What did Faith say? Faith, Rodrigo. Faith is wrong. Faith has led you all up the garden path. Faith. It's Karim Benzema. I haven't got a clue. I mean, it means nothing. All I know is that Tottenham beat Arsenal 3-0. Any Arsenal fans out there? This doesn't happen often, but what's it like? Really, what's it like? 3-0. What's it like? Just want to know what it's like. Karim Benzema is the answer, B. Question 9. And after this, I'm going to see who's got 9 out of 10. Question 9. What's the occupation of club runner Ellis Cross, who beat London 2012 hero Sir Mo Farah in the Vitality London 10,000? So someone beat Mo Farah in the 10K, which I've run before, the Vitality London 10,000. What is the occupation of the runner that beat Mo Farah in the Vitality 10,000K? A cab driver, A, B, a waiter, or C, a shop assistant? Ellis Cross is either A, a cab driver, B, a waiter, or C, a shop assistant. Sheila Patterson, so many sports questions, but you know what? Sport is the big thing in this world, and we need to be part of it, I think. Lots of you saying cab driver. See, I'm thinking cab driver because I always think of, as soon as I hear this question, I think of the guy who won Mastermind, and he was a cab driver, wasn't he? It's always cab drivers. Then I thought, no, if you're a cab driver, you'd know how to get to the end of the race quickly because you've got the knowledge, but you always do it in a car. So it's not cab driver. Waiter, on your feet a lot, could be. It's a shop assistant. Ellis Cross is a shop assistant. C is the right answer. Oh, creepy. My husband is running an ultra marathon in a few weeks, so he loved this story. There you go. I ran an ultra marathon in Jordan, don't you know? Next up, question 10. Ronnie O'Sullivan now jointly holds with Stephen Hendry the record for winning the most World Snooker Championships. How many do they each hold? Is it A5, B7, or C6? Ronnie O'Sullivan now jointly holds with Stephen Hendry the record for winning the most World Snooker Championships. But how many do they hold? 5, A5, B7, C6. What do we reckon, guys? What do we reckon? Final question. It's another sporty one. It's not really a sport, is it? It's a game. I got it right. It's only me, says 7. Sonia Donovan, B. C. Lots of you saying C. Some of you saying B. It's a mixture. I'm going to give you the answer, and you're going to have to tell me if you got 10 out of 10. It's B, 7. 7 is the answer. Who got 10 out of 10? Did anyone get 10 out of 10? Tell me what you got. Who got 10 out of 10? Anyone here at all get 10 out of 10 before I have to skedaddle? 8 out of 10, Betty Jones. 7, Christos. 7, Louise N. 7, lots of 7s. Yeah, the sports one's got it. Me Tube, 9. That's good. Sally O'Sullivan, 9. That's good. Christos, 9. Oh, well done. You got close. But sport hit us. Wonder Woman, 1. 7. No 10s. Guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. It was a long one. Lots of love. I hope you enjoyed the kind of pictures coming up and all that kind of stuff. Stay safe. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Stay on the channel. Stuff is coming. No Name Sunday show at the weekend. Weekly rushes. All the usuals. Take care, guys.